All right, everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm going to break down in this video something that I've been using to buy Bitcoin and invest in the cryptocurrency, but using the stock markets and interest rates as the main strategy, okay? Because there's an article that just came out on Bloomberg and it says crypto's correlation with stocks nears a record, okay? Digital assets and US stocks are moving more in tandem than at any time in history based on correlation. Okay, and the macroeconomic variables driving stocks is helping to shape the crypto market. So what are the macroeconomic variables they're talking about? Well, it's all down to interest rates. So what I want to just show you quickly is that once you grasp this, you'll know when to buy stocks at exactly the same time as when to buy Bitcoin. Because look, in 2020, notice this is the S&P 500 on the left-hand side. This is Bitcoin on the right-hand side. They both rallied, okay, from March 2020. Okay, look, that's when the stock market started to go up. That's exactly the same time when Bitcoin went up. Stocks went up 119%, Bitcoin went up 1,700%. Why did they start going up at exactly the same time? Well, if you understand, it was in March 2020 that the US central bank started to cut interest rates. Okay, so why would interest rates cause stocks to go up and crypto to go up? Well, think about it. Interest rates go down, people have more money to spend because as mortgages go down, credit cards, car loans, student debt, personal loan payments, people have more money to spend. And where are they going to put their money? In the crypto market, in Bitcoin, or they're going to spend money on goods and services, driving up the earnings of companies. So the stock market valuation goes up. And also people are going to put their more money into the stock market, right? So they both go up at exactly the same time. Notice in 2022, they both started to fall and peak around January, March times, okay? Why did they both start to fall around March times, okay? As you can see in Bitcoin and stocks. Well, fast forward to 2022, the Fed then started, after they cut rates aggressively, started to raise rates, okay? Why? We all know why. Inflation in 2022 was at, I think, 9%. It was way out of control. Okay, so the Fed started to raise interest rates and took rates of 5.5%. Okay, they only just started cutting rates recently. So look what happened. Stock markets during 2022 crashed exactly the same time as Bitcoin crashed. Okay, but notice how they both bottomed at the same time. Okay, around October, stocks then rallied around 32%. Bitcoin from that exact same level rallied 113%, and then at the same time they decline. You see stock markets go lower here by around 10%, and then you see this crypto go lower around 23%. And then from this period here, you see stock markets go on this big rally to where they are today. Stocks climb from this level here. No surprise, guys. Bitcoin at exactly the same time climbed from here all the way where it is today. So why are they moving at exactly the same time? Well, I'm going to show you, okay? I just introduced you what the Federal Reserve was doing with interest rates, but now I'm going to show you the 10-year government bond yield. This is the interest rate on a 10-year government bond in America. Why is this important? Well, what you need to understand is the 10-year government bond is the benchmark, okay, which all other interest rates are priced off. So mortgages, credit cards, car loans, student debt, personal loans, business loans, okay? So why I'm showing you this is because you see when I showed you in 2022 when the Fed first started raising rates in March 2022, that was when Bitcoin and stocks started to go lower. But notice how they both bottomed in October 2022, and then the stock market started to rise, okay? And I showed you Bitcoin was going up at the same time. Why? Well, here you understand why. Because look, as the Fed's rates were going up, you saw Bitcoin declining with stock markets, but when the interest rate in a 10-year government bond peaked in October 2022 and started to decline here during this period, why does that give the stock market the room to move higher? Why does it give at exactly the same time Bitcoin, okay, when it peaks here, the room to start rising from its bottom by 100%, as I showed you? The reason why is because the 10-year government bond is always moving based on the market's expectation for central bank interest rates. And in October 2022, it was the first time inflation started to slow. I'll show you here. By July, it hit 9.3%, and then October, it went down 3 months in a row. Now, investors use the macroeconomic data, such as inflation, to understand a trend. And when you get 3 readings in a row, the markets knew, inflation's on its way down. So they started to predict that maybe the Fed at that point could cut interest rates. So when a 10-year government bond starts to decline, because they're betting in rate cuts, and I remember this when it was happening, mortgage payments go down, credit card payments go down, car loan payments go down, personal loan payments go down, your student debt payments go down. Hence why Bitcoin jumps up on the expectation that people can invest into Bitcoin. Okay. Stock markets rally at the same time because investors want to snap up stocks when they expect earnings to grow. And when you see 10-year government bond interest rate going down, earnings can grow because people can spend more. But then obviously the inflation didn't go down as quick as people had expected, and then the 10-year government bond rate picked up again here. That is why the stock market then declined here. Okay, that is exactly why Bitcoin at exactly the same time, okay, after that strong rally here, declined here again, just with stocks, when the bond market started to go up. Why? Because as the interest rates on bond goes up, so does your mortgage, credit cards, car loans, student debt payments. So this article talking about the macroeconomic variables is talking to you about the economic data and the bond market, which is interest rates. If you understand interest rates, it moves everything. Okay. And then in October 2023, interest rates hit a peak at 5%, and they've been declining ever since. Hence why stock markets have boomed since that point up to where we are now. That is why the S&P 500 at the same time in October has rallied to where we are now. And why has this 10-year government bond interest rates been declining? Well, all you need to understand is that inflation, if you go to the latest spreadsheet for looking at fundamentals, this is how I basically teach my course members how to analyze an economy. Inflation's coming back down to around the central bank's 2% target. So the markets right now, if I show you over here, are pricing in rate cuts. Look, this is the latest projection for the central bank's interest rate. Look, at each meeting, there's more cuts coming. The rate's going to go from 5% all the way down to 3% by December 2023. So what happens to the 10-year government bond, which moves in line with the central bank's interest rate expectations? This is why the bond market is declining in terms of interest rates, because they're expecting these rate cuts. What do you think is going to happen when central banks cut interest rates? It boosts stocks. It boosts Bitcoin because interest payments go lower, more available money, there's more liquidity being injected by the central bank. You get a rise in stock markets. So this is the reason why, if you can understand interest rates drive stocks and drives Bitcoin, this article is telling you why they move in correlation. Remember, ETFs got released for Bitcoin. Now institutional money can invest in Bitcoin. BlackRock, all these companies that would never allow their people to invest in Bitcoin because Bitcoin was only being able to be invested in the exchanges like FTX, which went bankrupt. So these professional investors who have billions of dollars don't want to risk putting their money in an exchange like fucking FTX, because they don't want to risk losing their money. But now they can buy an ETF which tracks Bitcoin's price without having to buy the Bitcoin. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then these trusts actually go and buy more Bitcoin. So now institutional money is coming in. So the correlation between the two is now getting closer, because when investors are risk on and they want to put money into the stock markets, well, they look at Bitcoin and they say, well, hold on. Yeah, of course, stock market returns are great if you're compounding. And you could say, well, if you're compounding the stock market and it's going up like 40%, that's great. But then look at the returns on Bitcoin at the same time, 140%. That's big dough compounded over time, right? So this is the reason why I've been buying Bitcoin heavily. You can see, look, I've been sent these screenshots by members very recently inside my private channels on Telegram. Look, we're investing in Bitcoin. Some members making £700. Some members are trading Bitcoin with me, making 3.5K. Okay, these are the fundamental reasons why, as you can see, we're investing in Bitcoin. Okay, this member made 6,000 on Bitcoin. Okay, just understand what's going on. Okay, fundamentals drive markets. If you want to trade Bitcoin, you have to understand what's happening with interest rates, because interest rates on 10-year government bonds drives everything. Look, guys, it's powerful. Okay, if you want to learn more, click the link below, send me a message. Come and join the VIP. It's powerful, but get educated, okay? Don't be the fool just trading technical analysis, price action when you don't really understand what's going on. All right, guys, enjoy.
Cool.